Welcome to the More Gems Show. I'm Steve Moriarty, your host, and with us tonight are my son Michael, who's in charge of the production, and also, sorry, and also Jeff is back with us after, I don't know, vacationing or whatever you've been doing.
I am not Carrie. She's got better hair than I do. So.
Yeah. Well, Carrie did a good job. We were thinking about replacing you, but you're welcome back.
Here.
Yeah, so just do your job right and tell these people how to shop.
All right, so if you're not new here, you should know how to shop. If you are new to our show, we're going to be adding a lot of links below, but you can go to MoreGems.com. Well, it's right at the bottom there. And at the top of the screen, or at the top of the website, there's a little green bar that shows a link right to the Gemstones of the night. You can go there and use the coupon code that's shown here to get 15% off any of those stones. If you're purchasing online, which most people do, well, you can call us an order, but you can use a credit card. We have PayPal. And we also do have Sezzle, and that allows some financing that you can do right online. And I guess the last thing is, if you are watching, if you want to join in the fun conversation that we have, little chat that's going on, you just have to log into YouTube or your Gmail account, and you can kind of join in the conversation that's being held the whole show.
And what was the coupon code this week? Is
March 15th. No, March 15. We were very creative with it this month. So nice and easy though, March 15.
I don't know what happened to Dunk 15. And,
yeah, I think Michael wanted. None of us follow college football. Yeah, college basketball that often.
I just wanted to make the picture.
Okay, yeah. Picture was creative.
Okay.
Not the coupon code.
Oh, thanks.
We'll do better next time. All right. Just one comment about the pricing you're going to see on the site. There's two prices shown. One is the appraised price, which is the first price you see, and that's based on the Gem Guide, which is a market-driven independent pricing guide, where they go to all the shows and they price from the wholesale dealers and create this wholesale pricing guide. So we base our prices on the stated prices in here and recommended markups. And then the second price there is the price that we sell online. And tonight there's 15% off with the March 15 coupon code. So I've been pretty busy cutting all week or all month, mostly this week and this weekend. And one of the stones that I finished is back here in our oven, and we're going to take it out of there and show you. And it's a Tanzanite that I had, and it was a decent natural color, but not very exciting. So I heated it, and we're going to see what it looks like now. This is the oven that we use right here. It's a programmable oven, and I generally take a full day to heat the stones. So you start it one day and pull them out the next day. So it goes up slowly and turns off and goes down pretty slow. So the purpose of the slow increase, which we go to 1,050 degrees, is to, if there's anything in it, which this particular stone had nothing in it, so I could have heated it quicker. But if there's anything in it, the slower you heat it, the less likely they are to open up, because crystals that are in it, I'll show you a stone tonight that should have been 50 carat, but it's down to 20 carat. Because of some issues. There were crystals in it. You can sometimes get away with heating those. Other times it doesn't work out so well, and this is one that didn't work out well at all. So it was a bad day that day. But it came out to be a beautiful stone, and with a little luck, I'll still make some money on it. So it's not all bad, but it could have been a great stone. But I'll show you that one later, and we're going to get this one out of the oven right now. So this is the crucible. It's just filled with investment powder that we use for casting because it withstands a very high temperature. It can withstand up to 1,500 degrees, but we took it to 1050, so it remains a powder.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
What if you cooked it too long? What would have happened?
Yeah, not too long's not a bad thing. Too high is a bad thing. I've done that. Where the oven stuck, it went to 1550, and I pulled it out of this powder, and I thought the powder had coated the stone. But actually, it turned the whole Tanzanite white. It just was a white, looked just like this powder. I mean, it was white. So
it wasn't clear. It was actually just white.
yeah, it was just white as could be all the way through. So 1550 is too high. So now I turn the oven so it will not go over 1300. I've taken them to 1350 before without a problem, but 1550 destroys them. So.
Like my chicken. When I
Yeah.
heat that chicken up to like 500, whew, that's burnt on the end.
So too long, you could heat it forever, or you could heat it in an hour. And if it was clean, you probably wouldn't have an issue. So here's our stone. Clean it off and see what we got. This is just under 5 carats. Pretty sure it's going to be good, but you never know exactly what you're going to get. And it's a dandy. It's really a good one. I don't know. We're going to... This camera, yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. So this one came out really nice. So it's kind of a step shield. Just really a beautiful color. And you can't see it, but there's a little bit of red flash in it. It really doesn't show in this lighting, but I'm very happy with the stone. So this one will be, it's probably going to take us till tomorrow to get it online, but it will be online and it'll be available at a discounted price like everything else tonight. So really, really nice stone. I'm happy. Anything you got to heat is risky. So you're always worried that something's going to happen to it. And what I'll show you later, it was, like I said, it was a bad day, to lose that much weight because of a fracture that opens up. So before I forget, a little shout out to Audrey. Hopefully you're out there watching. I'm sure you are. She watches regular with Grandma and Grandpa. So welcome to the show. And let's get started with our first stone, or second one now, which is an amethyst. This comes from Rwanda. Rwanda has produced some of the finest amethysts that I've ever seen. The little spots on there are a photographer mess up because this is a clean stone, but I keep trying to get better at this photography, but it's just hard to get them totally clean. Most of the rest of them tonight will be cleaner than this one. This is an old photo. So this particular stone, it weighs 1774. The appraised price is $1,796. Our price online, $1,220. And with the 15% discount, it's $1,037. So really nice cut, good brilliance. The problem with a lot of these amethysts is they're a little over dark, and they don't show as much life as you'd like them to. But this, with this nice square shape, really shows a nice brilliance to the stone. Up next is what typically we call umbalite. Umbalite is a lighter form of rhodolite garnet. This particular stone came from Mahenge. Umba is a source in Tanzania. The Umba River Valley is where umbalite originally came from. Names kind of stick with a color, even though this one is from Mahenge. And as we've talked before, Mahenge is a source that kind of changed the garnet market. They produce some colors that we haven't seen before, and really increase the value and the desire for people to have garnets.
What type of cut is this?
This is a Portuguese round. I think it's short, one row of facets from a full Portuguese. Typically, they have 161 facets. This has 4 rows of facets in the crown, and so it's 145 facets. So the color here is correct in the pictures of what are online, but not with this camera. We've had difficulty producing the right color with this camera, so we're just going to show it for size and mountings. This is a mounting that we did here. Takes a couple of pear shapes on either side, and then all these down here are small round diamonds. So it's a pear shape and round down that side and down the opposite. So in all these, we can do in any metal. We can put any type of stones in the rounds or the pear shapes. You know, we've mixed a lot of color with other colors. Not sure what you'd mix with this, but typically we'd probably put diamonds in this case. But a really pretty stone, and Portuguese cut is by far our most popular cut. You know, I cut this whenever possible. As I've told you before, it's a kind of a pain to cut because so many facets. It just takes more time polishing all those facets. But it just produces a spiraling brilliance that is unique to this cut.
How many facets did you cut on there? You remember?
145 on that one.
145.
145. Okay. So that Mahenge umbalite garnet. It's a garnet. It's a pretty garnet. Weighs 4.36 carats. The appraised price is $1,526. $1,095 is our price online, and with the 15% March 15 code, it's $930. So just a really clean stone, just beautiful brilliance. And here's a pendant style that would work with it. Mike, whoop.
Steve.
I can't. Well, these cameras work backwards. You know, it drives me nuts. I have a hard enough time working forward.
So you want to explain what that wax model is?
Sure. So this is a wax model. This was created in, Chris created the style in CAD. And then we use the 3D printer to print this wax. And the wax is used to cast the piece. You use lost wax casting. This is actually a plastic resin, not wax as we used to use. So they're used for producing the gold or whatever metal we cast from that model. So pretty much any of these styles we can make for most any shape or size stone just by going back in the computer and changing the parameters. So up next, the little bigger stone. We don't have any like last show where they were 200 carat and yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. So this is a citrine. This comes to us from Uruguay. You know, this material was regularly available for quite some time, and just the availability has dropped off significantly. I'm not exactly sure what's happened down there. They had told us they were going to be able to supply us for many years, and, you know, just not seeing the supply of this material available anymore. Just as a really nice orange color. This particular stone, it weighs 28.05 carats. 1950 is the appraised price, $12.60 is our online price, and with the 15% March 15 code, it's $1,071. Make a great pendant. You know, just has a lot of brilliance and really an intense color. You know, these are almost like the spessartite garnets. Same, very similar color to what we see coming out of Tanzania. But the spessartite garnet, you're lucky to get a 3-carat stone, and a 3-carat stone is as much as this 28-carat stone. So really pretty material, just a nice, brilliant style. This is a keystone barium, it's known as. What's the next one there, Mike? March birthstone. So those born in March, Aquamarine is your stone. And this first aqua comes to us from Madagascar. We're getting ready to plan a trip for the fall, and one possibility is Madagascar because it's by far my favorite place to travel. And aqua was the one thing you could always get in Madagascar. So this camera is producing a little deeper color than it has, but it really has really good color. So what's online is definitely more accurate. So this mounting takes some pretty good sized stones going around it. So it really ends up making a very attractive piece. I think these are maybe 10 pointers around it, so it's over a carat of diamonds that goes around this. But you can make this style with any size diamond to suit any price range. So this is an antique cushion, is the cut. The stone weighs 5.10 carats, appraised value of $3,060. Our online price of $19.90 discounted to $16.91. Aquamarine has become much more difficult to get these days. Even from Madagascar, the source is definitely not supplying like it used to.
So what else in Madagascar would you be looking for besides aqua?
Oh, everything but Tanzanite. You know, I used to, when I was going to Madagascar, I said you find everything there but diamond and Tanzanite. And then we were staying in a hotel there, and the company is one of the biggest companies was there in the hotel. They were set up there, and they had leased 15,000 square miles for diamond exploration. They did find diamond, but not in a supply enough to make it commercially viable, at least to this point. But everything else is there. You know, I found so many garnets and the aquas, of course, and didn't know emerald came from there, and bought some of the finest emeralds I've bought from anywhere. You know, so pretty much you name it, and they have it. Just not a big supply of it. So there were trips that we took there that weren't really successful. I came back with money. It was always difficult to export, so there was a lot of problems there. I understand export is easier there now, which is a big relief because it's always difficult to go out and spend 2 weeks looking for stones and getting lucky to find it, and then you get to customs and you're not sure if you're going to get it out of the country or not. So. And up next for us is a natural Tanzanite. This one I finished this morning. Don't get too many naturals that are worth keeping natural. This is a pretty stone. People find that the natural Tanzanites are very desirable. One can't understand why I'd heat a stone like this, but the blue cells and only a few of the naturals are really saleable, and this would be one of them because they don't generally display as much blue as this would show. They're typically just brown until you heat them, and it drives off that yellow color and leaves the blue and the purple. So this one would heat to another beautiful stone. This, I'm sure, will be remarkable if I ever heat it. Stones 3-4 carat and naturals have sold well. The more expensive ones been a little more difficult, although we sold the 15 carat that, I don't know, was that in the last show? Or the previous show? We had a 15 carat natural, and it's sold just a couple of weeks ago. I thought there was a limit to how big a natural you could sell, but people really like the natural look. And it is a unique gem. There's no other stone that looks like this in its natural form. Yep. But the nice thing, you try and sell it as a natural, and there's no risks of heating, of course, which this one will have no risks during heating. And you can always heat it. It doesn't sell as a natural, then it's 1 day away from being a fine blue-purple stone. And this one will be as good as it gets, I'm sure. So this is a square step cushion. Weighs 8.81 carats, which I was hoping to get 6 and got 8.81. That's always a little bonus.
We've got a little bit of misinformation here.
I do? 866, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 866. Can always hope for more. The appraised price is $10,100. 56.30 is our online price. 47.85 is the discounted price. So it figures out to about $5.52 a carat, which is low for a stone of this size and this quality.
Is that a natural crystal to show too with them?
Yeah. So this is what the natural crystal looks like. So this is an unheated natural Tanzanite crystal. Really good form. This is how the shape they typically form in. And these natural crystals are available on Michael's website, which is mineralmike.com. So if you heat this one, it'll turn all blue purple. How much is that? Do you remember?
$686.
So that crystal is $686 in the natural crystal. They get a discount on that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Contact me. I'll do
Yeah.
15% of that.
Yeah. So you can do the March 15 coupon code on that also. You'd have to contact Michael. Yeah, just give us a call if you're into natural crystals. You don't see those as natural very often. Most of what Mike's got are heated. He's got several naturals, but People like the cut stones generally want the blue purple, but there is a market for natural stones. And this mounting, it all those little, it's the prongs that you're seeing. It takes probably 50 or 60 round diamonds in this mounting or more, because that's a double row coming down this side. All small diamonds in it. So it's a really flashy piece. All right, and the next stone is it,
Hey,
we have a sale?
got a sale
Cool.
and some questions.
Yeah, sale and some questions.
I want to thank Tim. He purchased that amazing Portuguese umbalite.
Oh, cool. No, you'll love it.
That cut's just awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could get more like that. I mean, that's always a sure thing. That color in that cut is a sure sale for me. It's just difficult to get a crystal that's got the right shape for a round stone. Most of the rhodolites will cut ovals, would be most common. So getting a stone you can cut a Portuguese is just a big bonus, because it's a sure sale for me. As many of those as I could cut. So thanks, Tim.
A couple questions, real quick, with the Tanzanite. One was when natural, and he's heard people call it diesel. Is that the same thing, basically?
Yeah, diesel is the color of a natural crystal. Diesel is the reddish, brownish, bluish. If you ever looked into a can of diesel fuel, you got that bright, shiny interior of the can, and you look down in there, and that's the color you see, and that's, they use all diesel in Tanzania, all the trucks, and they just named it after the fuel. That visual appearance of fuel in the can is diesel, and that's why they call it diesel. So
Okay. Also, okay, so let's say you heated that Tanzanite, and you heated it for like 10 hours. Okay, I don't know how long that is, but you heated it for 10 hours and still wasn't to the color you wanted. Could you just heat it longer?
No.
It's
It's
done.
just get it to temperature,
Okay.
and you're done. I bought one way back when we weren't sure of temperatures, and the guy told me heat it to 900. I go, oh, okay, because I knew 900 wasn't enough, and I took it home and heated it again to 1050, and it turned into a better stone. So it's just temperature. If you could, literally, you could heat a Tanzanite over a flame if you could get it to 1050, because my alcohol flames are usually about 900, wouldn't be enough, but you can heat it in a minute, and as long as you get it to temperature, it'll change. But heating that quick is always riskier. So, but they say that the original was heated by a flame, fire caused by a lightning strike in the grasses, and that's why they found them blue. But whether that's a true story or not,
Last question. For that 866 carat natural Tanzanite, what would had to been the original crystal size to get it to that? I know you're a master gem cutter.
It was
so
4 grams, so it was 20 carats.
20 carats.
Yeah, which is really good yield. Average yield, I figured 6 on that, just because if you're lucky, you're getting 35% is generally as good as you can get. You can't really figure that you're going to do better than that, but I don't know what that figures to. 8.66 divided by 20. So it's 43%. So that's really good yield for this material. And on average, rough, maybe you hit 30% if you're lucky. So, and depends on the material. Some of it's 10%, because of inclusions, or, occasionally you get really lucky and get 50%. In tourmaline crystals, which are shaped like pencils, if you cut a pencil-shaped stone, you get 60%. So diamonds, they get about 50% yield because the shape's good for cutting around, or a princess cut. Okay. What's next, Mike? Is it the pyrite? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
These are the most amazing things that I remember the first time I saw them, I just couldn't believe they were real. And most people look at them and they go, that can't be real. Somebody made that, But this came out of the ground like this. I mean, this is the ground it came out of, and they just stack like that. And these are really big pyrite crystals and just perfect cubes. That's every time I see them, they just amaze me. And this is really a big one. These come from Spain. Where at in Spain, Mike? Navajun. Is where these are produced, and they produce the most perfect crystals. I don't know what made it such a right chemistry to make these like this. I mean, they always form as cubes, but never this kind of perfection. So the sale price on this is $9.19 and 15% off with the coupon code March 15. Just make a great display. And
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
and he's got many more. We just bought these. These people we deal with in Spain, we typically see them once a year.
And that's the natural stone that it comes out of. That's what it's sitting on.
Yeah, they came out of the ground just like this. Occasionally they've got to put them back in because they break off the... But did you check these? Are they... Not that means anything, but sometimes they pop off there and they just put them back in. I assume they glue them in, or yeah. So, but that's how it came out of the ground. Such an amazing display. You set it there, and it's amazing how many people, they just look at it and just can't believe that could be real.
Yeah, that it's polished or cut.
Yeah. Fun stuff. And on Mineral Mike, there's, you probably have 20 of them, or?
Not quite, maybe 12.
Yeah, 12, 15 different ones. Yeah. Fun stuff, and really saleable material just because of uniqueness. Everybody needs one on their desk. It's a meditation piece. And up next is another Tanzanite. This one recently finished, and another really pretty stone. It does have one imperfection that you'll see when it comes around, but really doesn't affect the piece significantly, and it's just such a beautiful piece. Displays a lot of red flash. I mean, you can even see them in the video there, and they don't show up in the video often. But this has really intense red flash going through it, and it's typically a sign of very, very high quality material. You only get it in the deepest of materials, and only certain stones. I mean, it's a rare thing to come up with the red flash out of the stones. Again, few things on the surface that are not inclusions. There's only one inclusion in the stone. So this piece weighs just over 20 carats, or it's 18, I think, 18.01 carats. 24,300 is the appraised price. 12,150 is our online price, and 10,327 is our price with the 15% coupon code.
I don't know if you've held it up yet. What is that? Too big for a ring? Better for a pendant?
Well, I've got a ring here that was made for a round, but it kind of fits in it.
That's nice.
Yeah, so this is diamonds around, and you would just adjust it to fit this piece so the sides would be a little flatter. And you could put it in this piece, but so that kind of shows you so it can go into a ring. And this, don't quite remember what went in this piece, but we made it for a different stone.
It was amethyst, maybe.
Was it? Yeah, it could have been.
And then Rwanda.
Was it the one, that cover piece?
What's that?
Was it on the cover of the magazine?
No, that was a different piece.
Yeah, different. Okay. But really great stone. Great brilliance. Really proud of this stone. And you can see the red flashes. I mean, and in real life they show redder than you're seeing there, but just really a lot of red flash.
Scoot to the center there, Steve.
Whoop. That better. Again, I think it's step cut, crown, and pavilion. I've been pretty heavy into step cuts these days. They just,
One that you just finished cutting.
yeah, this week. Uh-huh.
Is this one of those all weekend cuts?
I did cut all weekend, but I cut 5 stones this weekend, so
All right.
it was a busy weekend. I thought I had another week before this show, and come to find out it was this week, and so I spent a busy weekend. I'm going to have to take tomorrow off, I think.
Me too.
So we're closed tomorrow. Sorry. Don't think Nancy's going to like that, are you, dear? All right, up next is a Savorite garnet. Not a big stone, but really, really a nice one. I mean, in green stones, when you think of emerald, you think of emerald cut, and this is a emerald cut Savorite. And the nice thing about Savorite is you get an extremely green stone, and you can get them like this, very clean, whereas in an emerald, you can't typically get this high a clarity. You don't get the brilliance that this stone has. And you pay a lot more for an emerald. An emerald that looked anywhere close to this is going to be $4,000 or $5,000. This has rarity that's greater than emerald, by far, thousands of times rarer. So a lot to be said for Savorite garnet. And this stone, even though it only weighs 1.5 carats, it faces bigger than most, because the depth is not cut real deep. Still has full brilliance, as you can see, all the way down to the culet, but you really couldn't have cut it any shallower. And the big advantage is, when there's not a lot of weight in the belly, you get a bigger look to the stone. And this is another Christopher Michael design that could be done for this. Kind of a little more of an antique look. Again, there's a row of diamonds down the center of this, and it goes partway up. The V, there's no diamonds up there, but just kind of beaded look. Clean that stone off. So and we recently did a men's ring with a stone similar in size to this. It's going to be hard to show green on green and get the... But this was a men's ring that we did, and it had a baguette diamond here and here, and an emerald cut that was set into the piece. I don't remember. Was this Tanzanite that was in it?
It was Australian Opal. It was actually back set.
Oh, okay. So we put an opal in this piece. But this Savorite would go nicely in it. It's probably have to put a separate bezel on it. It's a little small for it. But would look great in there as a men's ring. The Savorite garnet is a 105. 25.20 is the appraised price on it. 15.25 is our price online, and 12.96 is the discounted price.
Got St. Patty's Day coming up. Good gift.
Say St. Patty's Day gift. Yeah, you could give it to me. St. Daddy's Day. Okay, what's next?
Well, before we go on,
Yeah, St. Daddy's Day.
yeah, we'll switch this top up real quick. So speaking of green, James wanted to know, he heard that Afghanistan produces a green tourmaline that's supposedly better than chrome tourmaline. Has Steve ever cut any of this type of
Well,
tourmaline?
I've never seen it. Yeah, there's nothing that comes out of Afghanistan that is this kind of green. Chrome tourmaline is Savorite green. But to my knowledge, and I've never seen a chrome tourmaline come out of Afghanistan. Mostly blue-greens, greens, beautiful stones come out of Afghanistan, but nothing with this type of green that I have seen to this time. So, really nice greens, but not chrome green. Chrome is the coloring agent, and it produces that emerald look because chrome in tourmaline is what creates the green, and it's the same for emerald. Emerald is colored by chromium. The Savorite is generally considered to be colored by vanadium. I think they have chrome in them also, but vanadium is the primary coloring agent. Any more questions?
I guess okay, might as well fill this in here. So Andrew wanted to know, and I know you've talked about recommended cutting machines for, he's kind of a beginner and looking to get into doing some gem cutting. What would you recommend?
Well, the machine behind me is what I generally recommend. I know they're more expensive than most people want to put into a machine. But currently I feel this is the only machine worth buying. I mean, I have several machines that I love, but it's the only machine that's currently produced that you can actually get parts that the company is actually in production. You know, most of the companies that are making machines have gone out of business because they base their business entirely on cutting machines, and there's not enough of those to be sold to really support a business. And the people at Ultratech are into other scientific equipment, so they're not basing their entire business on the Ultratech faceting machine. Mine's the V5. It's a $5,000 machine. They also manufacture a $3,500 machine that's built very similar to this machine, so it has the ability to produce the same kind of cut. I know it's a lot of money, but if you really are interested in cutting, the type of equipment you use is so important. I mean, you're going to become a good cutter quickly with a quality machine, whereas if you buy a used machine that you don't know how it's been made, or you know, I've had several used machines that just never worked right. You know, they looked good when you bought them, but they just never worked right, or they broke down, and because they're no longer manufacturing, you can't get parts for them. So unless you're a really great machinist, can make your own parts, you know, you're just out of luck. So that's why I recommend this machine, and you'll be a great cutter on it, and great cutters can make good money.
Steve, you want to move your shoulder to show the
Oop.
machine?
Oh, so this is it. You know, it has a digital angle
Display.
display. DAD, and which helps you dramatically in reproducing angles. You know, this machine is just really good at reproducing what you cut, because you have to go through several steps when you're cutting. You cut it, you do a pre-polish, and then you polish. So each of those steps, it has to be able to reproduce the same location, and this machine does it very well, and that's half the battle in cutting. You know, so that's the machine I recommend. So,
All right.
all right, next stone is sapphire. So this is a sapphire from Madagascar. We talked about Madagascar and Ilakaka in Madagascar back in the late 90s. Early 2000s, they changed the entire sapphire market. You know, they produced so much sapphire from this source that a town developed out of nowhere, and the available material of sapphire material increased dramatically. The prices dropped significantly. You know, but kind of just as quick as it was found, it's gone. I mean, they still produce some there, but you know, it's not like it was in the heyday when I was going there in the early 2000s. The availability of sapphire from there was really dramatic, and this is part of the rough that we bought from Ilakaka. I still have more to cut, but most of it's going to cut carat stones, a lot of sub-carat, and not my favorite sizes to cut. But I sat down and cut this one. This weighs a carat 78. Has an attractive blue, not the top finest blue, but it's also not 2,000 a carat. So this is a carat 78. The sale price on it is $1,280. The appraised price is $2,390 on it, and with 15% off, it's $1,088. So a nice big stone. You know, it's a really flashy stone, a lot of brilliance. It's a Berrien style oval, and not cut deep, so you get a big spread for this carat 78. You know, the color in this picture is way overdone. You know, more like the picture online. This color is what you get 2,000 a carat for. But so this mounting, again, it's kind of a 3 split shank with diamonds down the middle of it. You know, but just really attractive stone. Looks much like the material you get out of Montana. Very similar. You know, these are heated. You know, I have quite a few pinks that aren't heated, but all these blues had to be heat treated to get them to color.
And with the stones, I know you're showing them in rings. What's the process? Say if they buy the stone, what should they do next if they want to have us do a design for them?
Well, if you want us to do a design, either if you have something in mind or you've seen a picture of something you like, just send us a picture. We'll give you a quote on it. We do design it, send you the render of the design, the computer render, and then we produce a wax like this so you can see it, you can try it on. No matter where you are, if you're out of the area, we just send you a wax. You can try it on, see it if it's what you liked, and then we give you a quote on it, and then we produce the piece. Michael, that's his other job. He manufactures the mountings and does a lot of the setting work. But nice sapphire, you know, makes nice engagement ring. This is a stone very, very hard. It's going to take a lot of abuse. Sapphire is the most popular stone probably in the business. You know, I'm heavy into Tanzanite, so I don't do a lot of sapphire. I probably should do more, but I'm so into Tanzanite, and definitely a competitive color at cheaper price. But nice stone. You know, these sapphire is real difficult to cut. It's so close that if you don't hit the color zone right, you don't get the color that you're after. Oh, we have a sale.
2 of them.
2. Hey.
Yeah, people jump on these. Yeah, that's why I say if you like the stone, pick it up. But we want to thank Zachary. He picked up that really bright orange, that barium cut citrine.
Oh, cool.
It's like fire. And then we also sold. We want to thank Troy. He purchased that the vivid green Savorite.
Oh, all right. Well, you're going to disappoint a couple people here because Chris, I know, wanted to mount that stone. Hopefully we can mount it for you, but you know, everybody, when they looked at it, you know, you're going to see that the videos, it's a very difficult color to reproduce. In person, that stone is a better stone than what you're seeing in the videos. You know, it's just a color I can't produce exactly. Greens and blue greens are very difficult for my cameras to really do them justice, and I'm not very good at Photoshop that I can adjust them correctly, but you'll be really happy with it. You like it in the picture, you're going to love it in person. So thanks so much. Yep.
And then just Loro wanted to, I guess he purchased the Ultratech V5 because of your recommendations.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Hopefully you love it, and you will love it. You'll love cutting, and you know, if I can answer any questions for you, you know, just let me know. What's next? Next is another aquamarine. This was one of the stones this weekend. This one comes from Mozambique. And this one weighs 319. Step cut, just a very nice medium color for an aquamarine. For most that you're going to see out there, it's a dark color, but to me it's medium color. But what we expect from aquamarine, just a really slight tint of green to it. You know, I'm listing it as heated, but it's possible it wasn't heated. Typically that green leaves when you heat them. But for most, having that secondary green color is what aquamarine's all about. Aquamarine doesn't mean blue, it means blue-green, what we think of as the sea. So this stone, well, get it set here. So possible mounting style for it, if I can get it in focus. So this just takes a couple of bigger diamonds on either side. Yep. I think it's like a 10-pointer and a 7-pointer.
Steve, can you hold that ring any closer to the mat to get that in focus?
Okay. Is that better?
Yep.
Well. Real nice color, and it's clean, whatever that is. It's very clean stone.
I mean, is this camera showing a little bit darker than?
Yeah. The picture online is more accurate. You know, we work very hard to get the pictures online accurate. You know, even though this is the same camera I use in the studio, we can't get it to do what we want to do in this situation. So it makes these aquas look a little darker, just like it makes the sapphire look darker. But it's a really pretty stone, just a lively, you know, aquamarine doesn't typically have the ability to be an extremely brilliant stone, but this stone has a lot of life. Brilliance is based on refractive index, and in barrels, refractive index is pretty low.
And we mentioned that it is March's birthstone, so
It is March's birthstone.
got a birthday in March.
And a very durable stone. Aqua is a really good hardness. It'll hold up in a ring better than a lot of other stones. So this particular aqua, I don't know, where's it at? $319. Comes from Mozambique. Appraised value of $950, $570 online. $485 is the price on 15% off March 15.
Might as well just not continue talking.
So what was this one?
So we want to thank Edward. He just picked up that aqua right there.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Edward.
He's quick.
Yeah.
That was really fast.
Well, sometimes you have to be.
And he didn't even use
Yeah.
PayPal. He actually went through the checkout process.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit longer. He's got some quick fingers. Nice
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. This one's about as fresh as they get. I think I cut this one Sunday.
Yeah, fresh cut.
Yep.
So we're going to start call these fresh cut.
Fresh cut gems.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we put those little sticks that smell like evergreen in our jewelry boxes? So it looks like it's fresh cut, You know what those are?
It'll be
For
a
all the
new
people
line.
that have fake trees, come on. It's those little sticks you put in the tree. It makes it smell like it's a real tree.
Yeah, we only get real trees.
I have a fake one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got those cats though.
Yes, I do have cats. Multiple. Yep. Fresh cut.
Fresh cut. We'll have to find a way to use that. Fresh
I
cut.
think so.
Yeah.
New hashtag, fresh cut. Let's get that going viral. Michael.
All right. Which Michael has been doing a great job on Reddit. He's been posting things on Reddit, and we're getting millions of views. We had one that did 10 million.
I don't know, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust all those numbers.
You think they're making them up?
I don't know.
Well, according to Reddit, the last one a couple weeks ago was 3 million or
Maybe, I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, that's what the number says, but that's hard to believe.
Everybody was just talking about that pyrite we showed tonight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was going like crazy on there.
Yeah, they got 30,000 upvotes.
Yeah.
People love that stuff.
If anybody wants a Reddit viral crystal, it's there tonight.
Get your pyrite. They're Reddit viral. Okay. What's next? And this is a zircon. That's one that went viral. Not this zircon, but a different zircon I cut.
That one, not quite. There was a lot of people that were interested, and it sold on there. But
Yeah, it
didn't
sold
pick up as much
from
as
Reddit.
This one, yeah. a
But
lot of
it was a couple million, wasn't it?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so it's been real helpful, social media and Reddit and, Facebook has really been remarkable for us. And Michael and Jeffrey are the ones that are handle that. Michael's doing most of the social media, and Jeff does all our SEO work for the site and search engine optimization.
Yep.
That's
me.
what he specializes in. So,
Cat moderating.
And chat moderating.
and chat,
That's my
head
side
chat
job.
moderator.
That's my side hustle. is chat moderating.
We don't pay him for it, but
No,
yeah.
it's not a lucrative side hustle. Do not get into chat moderating for your family.
New college degree, huh?
Yeah, we don't even pay you for gas.
No, I write off these miles.
Yeah, you should hire Jeffrey. He's cheap and does a good job. So, what's next? Oh, zircon.
Still on it.
Okay. Zircon, what makes it special? Just remarkably brilliant. It has an extremely high refractive index. For all the colored stones I cut, it's one of the highest refractive index. And refractive index is what determines brilliance. Diamond is so brilliant because of high refractive index. And this particular material has a refractive index of 181. One of these days I'm going to get better at cleaning these stones. This is a clean stone, surface and internally. So what you see there and around the stone is, I'm going to have to hire a photographer, I guess. But anyway, it's really a beautiful stone, just the brilliance, and they have a great amount of dispersion, which is what makes diamonds so popular. Not only brilliance, but dispersion, which is breakable white light into spectral colors. And zircon does it very well. So this is a cut that I designed. It's one I've been doing for all these zircons. I've got another zircon to cut here shortly. Just like cutting them, because the result that you get when you're finished is so dramatic that it's just pleasing to look at it. So this particular stone is a 6.25 carat. This comes from Singida in Tanzania. I bought material while I was in Tanzania last trip, but I didn't get any that were this size. I bought these from a friend, and most of what I bought cut 2-3 carat stones. Can't get that to set right, but that's a pendant style that we do, both with and without diamonds. We've done it with the whole outer rim of this just set with diamonds, which was pretty dramatic, or you can do it plain. Nice simple piece. Or you can do something like this.
Something like what?
Drum roll, please. Well, it's not easy to get these stones to sit there.
Did it freeze?
Yeah.
They're still here.
Where's it at? There. So that's all diamonds swirled around this piece. We've done this several times. I think maybe my wife has one.
She does.
Yeah,
Savorite.
with Savorite garnet. Yeah, so we do it all different sizes of stones. It makes a really pretty piece when we're done. Well, next time we'll try and have more pictures of finished pieces with these, maybe, because it's hard to picture, what this green wax is going to look like in gold with diamonds. But really a dramatic piece, and with the zircon would just be a beauty.
Can zircon be done in a ring too? Or
Yeah, zircon's good hard stone. Yeah, it's one of the harder stones.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can definitely do it in a ring. We do blue zircons. Imperial zircon is like this, a little peachier color. They've always been some of the best sellers we've got. Unfortunately, because Tucson was not this year our blue zircon supplier that comes from Cambodia, we won't see him this year, so we're going to be short of blue zircons. We are now. We're out of most of the bigger blue zircons because it's just a really good seller, So, and this particular material has been good when I cut it in rounds, particularly, just because the amount of brilliance you get out of it. The photo is good, but it doesn't do the brilliance justice like looking at it in person.
So does this one have really strong dispersion?
It has good, strong dispersion, not quite what that big one had, but you'll see a lot of dispersion in it. But brilliance, it just is just so full of brilliance. There's not very few stones that'll be more brilliant than this. So the zircon weighs 625. I said comes from Singida in Tanzania. $12.50 is the appraised price. $8.90 is our online price. $7.56 with the March 15 coupon code. And the next stone is Oh, you know, I was going to show. I don't think I showed that new stone on the mounting, did I?
You did not.
I don't know if it fits. Yeah, close. So that was the stone we pulled out of the oven, setting on a mounting. So, of course, this takes like 6 diamonds on it.
That's another Christopher Michael design.
Yes, another Christopher Michael design. So I have to upsize it a little bit, but, you know, that's a piece that would work well with it. Pretty stone. I'm really happy with it.
And that one will be available tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah. So tune in tomorrow.
And it'll be on the 5th. We're going to put it on the same spot so you get 15 off of this?
Yes, yeah. It'll be at the same location all these stones will be at. Just didn't quite get around to it early enough. Is it?
All right. It's on there right now. Must have gotten it uploaded.
Did she get the picture taken of that?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, they're quick. Yeah, it's on there.
okay. And what's next?
You're looking at it.
Okay. This is a little different. We don't often do multiples, but this is a parcel of Tanzanite I bought that they're all remarkably similar. There's some that there's 4 that are a little more blue and 6 that are a little more to the violet. We're selling these individually. They weigh on average a carat 64 within 15 points either direction. But really, you could put these in a bracelet and they would make a very attractive bracelet that you really didn't see much difference in the colors. So these stones are available. The appraised price on each of these is $1,300. $599 is our online price. So it's $509 is the discounted price, which is $310 a carat, which for square cushions like this is very inexpensive. This was really a well-priced parcel. You know, so they are priced individually. There's 10 available. If you have specifics you're after, we'll try and pick for whatever you want, but all very clean, VS and better clarities, all cut very similarly. The colors are very similar, but like I said, if you want a little more blue, there are some with a little more blue in them, and some with a nice mix of blue and violet. You know, so you can order from 1 to 10. If you want to do a bracelet, you can order all 10. But it's a real nice size for a cushion. 7mm cushion it makes a nice ring size. You know, kind of give you an idea of what it looks like in a ring. You know, just very pretty colors. You know, these are vivid color, high clarity, well-cut stones. So this particular mounting, the little round circles are for diamonds. And it has a row of diamonds up each side of the shank. And you can set this straight on or on a diagonal like this, which is a benefit of square cushions. You can set it multiple ways and settings. So really good brilliance in all these stones. Yeah. I say $310 a carat is a very low price for this size stone. And this is the setting I showed you earlier.
Nine available.
Just a really good buy on Tanzanites. And Tanzanite is more than 50% of our business. It's probably up to 60% of our entire business. So we are specializing in it, and we'll continue to do that as long as it's available. Just a great stone, great color. Everybody likes it. So the next stone up is a sold stone.
Sold.
What sold?
Yes. William from up north in Canada bought
cool.
The brilliant zircon.
Oh, cool. You'll love it. Yeah, it's an exciting stone, and I continue to look for more material. Hopefully, you'll come up with more of it. That's just the right size for a ring or a pendant, and you'll just be really amazed by the brilliance of it. Thanks, William. From Canada, huh?
Yep, up in
Cool.
Canada.
And the next stone is an Ethiopian opal. This stone I faceted into a shield shape. Weighs 12 karat 48. Opal is probably our second specialty. We have a lot of opals, and we've done total opal shows before, but this is really a pretty stone. Faceted stones are unusual for opals, just because most of the material that's come out of Australia really isn't made for faceting, because there's little transparency to them. These are transparent enough that the faceting has some effect on it. As you look at it when it comes around, you're going to see some orange flashes, which are caused by the faceting reflections from the backside of the stone. But this is full rainbow of colors, just some really dramatic colors in this piece. This opal, it weighs 1248, 2340 is the appraised price, 1490 is our price online, and with the 15 off, it's $1,266. So about $100 a carat is where this one's at.
A little blown out, huh?
Yeah,
What if we remove
the lights maybe. They're better lighted from distance, and my lights are right on it. There you go. Just too much light. When I photograph these, I put the lights back about 6 foot. So that's when you get in sunlight, it's really, really amazing stones. These stones are made for sunlight. As you can see, they're just totally transparent, clean throughout. You often see some little dark crystals in them. I don't know if that's just a goo from photography. Anyway. So just make a dramatic pendant. It's really a good sized stone. Probably close to not quite an inch long, but close. And sometimes it's hard to decide which side is better on these. because they're just color throughout. From Wilo, Ethiopia.
You show them the rough that it comes from.
Oh, okay. So here's a piece of rough Wilo opal. This is a big piece that's available on Mineral Mike. It's going to cut a really large stone. You know, you can kind of judge the rough by looking at the back, and if there's color coming out the back, you know that it's going pretty much solid all the way through. Because some of these pieces, more than half of the rough is just this parent rock and no opal, but you can see from the back side of this, the opal goes all the way through. So this is going to cut a, I don't know, 40, 50 carat
It's just
opal.
under 100 carats.
It's 100 carats as it is. So it's going to be 30 to 50 carat finished stone. What's the price on this?
$17.99.
So $17.99. You know, if you get a 50 carat stone, it's 100 a carat stone. Yeah. So it's $5,000 opal. Just great color. Another thing, we missed Tucson. You know, our Ethiopian dealers would come to Tucson and we'd buy a lot of rough, but no rough this year.
But the mom was happy about that. No money spending on rough this year.
Well, I've managed to find a lot of cut tanzanite, and a lot of rough tanzanite. Yeah. It's been a good year for tanzanite, so that's where I'm spending my money.
So we had a question with the opal, and if anybody's joining right now and you want to ask questions, if you log into YouTube or log into your Gmail account, there's actually a chat box with pretty active community of people talking. So, but one question was from Gary, and I know we actually did a video on this before, but he was asking if it was good to put opals in water every now and then.
No. Yeah, no reason to, other than to prevent them from crazing, which would be Australian material. You know, if you know it's going to craze, you put it in water. And we've got some stones we know are going to craze, and we put them in water. And that's going to keep them from crazing, but you always got to keep them wet. So if you have an opal that you put in water, you're going to rehydrate it. And opals are at their greatest risk when they're drying out. So it would be riskier to put an opal in water than to keep it out. You know, but again, if you know it's a stone or you can see it starting to craze, you can stop that by putting it in a moist atmosphere. We have some crystal opal that we've cut several, and they've mostly all crazed eventually. So what crystal opal I have is in a moist, you know, it's not in water, but there's moist towels with them so they won't dry out. So it will prevent crazing, but as soon as you take them out, they're gonna start on the process of crazing if they're gonna do that. So generally, you don't want to put them in water.
Especially
Yeah.
not these Ethiopian, the hydrophane material.
Yeah, and the hydrophane will just lose its color. You know, it's gonna turn clear like the water and colorless. So, you know, no real reason to do it. So, but at least the Ethiopian opal, as it dries out, the color comes back. You know, so generally there's no risk. But, you know, I think anytime you hydrate an opal, you do put yourself at a little risk that it could craze. You know, if it dries out too quickly, even Ethiopian, I haven't seen it be a problem, but, you know, it could be. But Australian for sure, you know, that's the ones that'll will craze as they dry out, you know, somewhat dependent on the source. Certain materials guaranteed to craze, like the opal we mined in Nevada is almost guaranteed to craze. You've got to keep it in water, display it in water. Otherwise, it's just going to craze for sure on you. So really source dependent. Questions? Any others? Okay. Next stone, Mike. This is Rwanda amethyst, cut in an oval checkerboard cut. checkerboard's always been a real popular cut. Not always. It's kind of new, maybe 30 years old, and maybe it goes back beyond their popularity is probably 30 years. Just produces a unique brilliance that when set, it's an attractive stone. So this material that came out of Rwanda has some of the strongest pleochroism, showing more than one color of any of the amethysts that have come from other sources. The material that I've cut from Uruguay has been very close to the quality of Rwanda, but the best from Rwanda has been the best I've ever seen all my time in business. I've cut a lot of Zambian material and a lot of Brazilian and the Uruguay, but the best stones we've cut have been from Rwanda.
You want to turn on that other light?
Oh. Okay. So this mounting doesn't exactly fit it. The bezel's a little small, but it's just something that does show the stone. Takes a couple of marquees on the side. Just a solid back piece. Just one possibility for doing something with this stone. You get a nice sparkle off the surface, backed by that beautiful color. So this stone weighs 10.58 carats. 954 is the appraised price. 529 is our online price. So with 15% off, it's $450. Just really pretty color. And amethyst is just very popular stone. One of the lesser expensive stones you can buy per carat. So hopefully Rwanda produces again. I haven't seen anything since 2016. I think it was discovered 15, something like that. Found it in 2015, and within 6 months it was gone. Just a very quick production, which is not uncommon in the business. But sometimes they produce again. We'll see if anything happens. If they do, I'll be on it because we did really well with Rwanda amethyst. What's next? This stone, another one I just finished. This comes from Mozambique. Kind of an unusual color. Again, a peachy color, which has always been my favorite color. Similar to the garnets, Malaya garnet. Imperial zircons are kind of this color. So this is a step pear shape. One of our employees, Tracy, asked me why I don't cut pear shapes. I said, I think I cut one recently, but actually I was thinking about this stone because the preformed piece of rough was no choice other than a pear shape. So this tourmaline from Mozambique weighs 7.53 carats. A couple little crystals in it, but keep in mind that, these lights and these high magnifications of these pictures show everything that's in it. So when you see a piece on a finger, those inclusions will be, if not impossible to see, near impossible to see. I think impossible, probably. So this is a piece that that's my finger.
You gotta bring it over to the center a little bit.
Okay, there we go. So this just kind of tucks in there, and there's a row of diamonds Not a lot of diamond, but enough to surround the tip of the stone. So it just fits in there real nice. It's kind of a traditional, a wide band that could be done with it. There was a time that we produced so many of these. Just a really nice accent for stones. This one's made for a marquee, but easy to do for a pear shape. Yeah. Mozambique is, there's been a lot of production of tourmaline, particularly Paraíba, or better known as copper-bearing tourmaline. Paraíba is the Brazilian source that produced the tourmaline that just had a glow to it, that hit highs of 30,000 a carat. Mozambique has produced a bit of this material. You know, they don't quite bring the price that the Brazilian does. They may be 10,000 a carat, but they're kind of a green, blue to green color, but just has a glow to it is what makes Paraíba what it is and why it brought so much money. But this is from the same source of the copper-bearing tourmaline. Did I quote the price on this? I guess I didn't. So appraised price on this, $4,900. $1,490 is our price online, and with 15 off, with coupon code March15, it's $1,260. Another step cut.
Love them step cuts.
Love them step cuts. They work really well, you know, and it's a easy cut to produce and produce it really well. Can get just a high quality, highly brilliant stone using a step cut, and many cutters avoid step cuts for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I just like them, and they work for every shape and give you really good yield out of the material. Up next is another Tanzanite. This is my sad story. This piece I originally thought was going to produce a 50 carat. I cut it and it was 36 carat, but it had some crystals in it. Sometimes you can get away with heating crystals and other times you can't. And this one turned out that the crystals were not going to take heating. You know, you can see there's still a little bit of imperfection in this one, but it had one big fracture in it that had to come out. So it went from 36 carats to 20 carats. So what I'd hoped to be 50 ended up 20. You know, can't win them all, but this is a really unique and beautiful color for Tanzanite. Just kind of a lavender, purple color. And it's, you know, it's always this color. I mean, not the blue to purple color change. It's just pretty much a fancy colored Tanzanite.
Kind of glows when I saw it.
Yeah.
Got that, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, it's a special stone. I mean, it's for a Tanzanite, it's rarely do you see this particular color. And I say you probably could call it a fancy Tanzanite because it's just not your typical color in the purple, you know, that would typically change to blue. But this pretty much is purple all the time. So it's a purple Tanzanite. Just really has nice brilliance. Sure. No, I don't have one to show. Nothing big enough. Might have to be a pendant. I suppose we could make a ring. We just made a 16 carat ring, so not much bigger. It weighs 20 carat. Appraised price $15,100. $10,920 is the online price, which takes it down to $92.80, which I think is about $450 a carat or thereabouts. Pretty collector stone for those of you that like unusual colors in Tanzanite. And just excellent brilliance. What's next, Mike? All right. This is a so-called Santa Maria Afrique aquamarine. Santa Maria was a source in Brazil that produced extremely deep colors in aqua, and this hits that kind of color. Aqua never comes very dark, but this is one of the darker that you're going to see.
This one you cut this weekend?
This one I cut this week. I don't remember when I cut it. It's all a blur. I've been cutting so much. Still, it's a fresh cut, yeah.
So why does this one look like it reminds me of a Portuguese cut a lot?
It's not, but it's a cut I developed that has 16 mains. Most diamonds have 8 mains. This has got 16 mains, and typically they would cut a brilliant style crown. This has a step cut crown. So it's a brilliant style pavilion with extra mains and a step cut crown. So, and I just find that it produces such a nice brilliance that it's what I cut all the time now in a round. So an aquamarine, again, typically is not a very brilliant stone, but this one comes out very brilliant. This mounting kind of has a leafy pattern around it, which each of those leaves has 2 diamonds in it, and then diamonds down the shank. Another Christopher Michael design. So this particular aqua comes from Mozambique, weighs a carat 52. 1140 is appraised price, 590 is our price online, 501 is the price with the coupon code March 15. Again, this would make a really great engagement ring. We do a lot of engagement rings with color, and this would be a good one because of its durability. Aqua is a very durable stone. This has great brilliance and just really a beautiful aqua. This one's clean. The one we sold last show had some inclusions in it, but this one cut clean. A few fuzzies in the photograph, but I don't know how to get that to be better. But I need to be more diligent at it. But
always that one hair.
That's quite a hair on that one. Yeah.
It's right for my dog.
But that's beautiful stone. I'm very happy with that one. Okay, next up. This is peridot from Pakistan. Really a pretty stone. And good size stone for what's available these days. You know, the Pakistan peridot has got much more difficult to get, particularly with this minty color. You know, it looks a little yellow in this light, but really it's more blue than like the photograph in the online. Let's see, do I have a mounting? You want to go to the camera, Mike?
Sure.
Oop. So this particular mounting, it takes, looks like 3 rows of diamonds down the side. So it'll just be all solid diamonds down the shank. So this peridot weighs 8.74 carats. Appraised price 20. That's probably not right. Online price is, what is the right price? So $2,400 less 15%, which is $2,040. And one more crystal. This time, this is heated, but really a beautiful color. Oop, got a sale.
We could talk about your crystal.
I'd rather talk about the sale.
All right, I got a sale from William. Purchased the faceted shield shape opal gemstone.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
All
opal.
right. Yeah, you'll love it. You know, one thing about these opals, I mean, everybody that wears them, particularly as pendants, you know, they just come back and say you get so many compliments on them. You know, and a lot of times they're just simple pendants, just set simply, but the size of the opals and the dramatic colors just make them so, you know, just show up so much on the neck. So thanks, William.
Thank you.
Back to the crystal. You know, this one has really beautiful crystal shape. You know, all the rough I get, you know, they don't have these shapes. You know, they're just broken crystals, which most of it is. You know, this is just a dramatic, natural crystal shape for this material. And this one's been heated to produce this beautiful color. You know, nice clear tip, which is common in this material. The crystals I have got all the clear materials right at the tip. You know, but a really good specimen. Available on, this one's on Tanzanite Jewelry Designs.
Well, you can get it on MoreGems now for the show.
Yes. This one is on the show on More Gems. So also available on Tanzanite Jewelry Designs. And other mineral specimens are available on mineralmike.com. Just these crystals are so amazing that they form in these, you know, perfect shapes. You know, when they're allowed to form in an open cavity, they form in this shape every time. You know, there are variations, of course, but, you know, the basic crystal shape will be this. You know, this is naturally how Tanzanite forms.
Great termination.
Yeah, really clean termination on it. It's just a really, really good specimen. So this piece, $1,252 and 15% off with the March 15 coupon code. And where's that one at? So this is the epitome of a blue Tanzanite. I mean, this stone is so blue, it's just amazing. You know, I've been buying a lot of blue stones lately. Up to this time, they've generally been very, very rare. But right now, there's more blue available than I've ever seen in my entire time in the business. I called a friend in Tanzania and asked him what the reason was. Was there just one mine producing? And he said that there was one particular mine that's producing a lot of blue right now. You know, to me, in general, I like the blue violet is what produced the entire business of Tanzanite because there was so few blues available. But when you see a blue like this, I mean, this is like the finest sapphire that ever came out of the ground. This is like cashmere sapphire that has just a teeny touch of violet to it that just adds to the beauty of the stone. But this is sapphire. If I told you it was a sapphire, you'd have no question, man, that is just the most amazing sapphire I've ever seen. You know, so it's just a remarkable Tanzanite to look so much like sapphire. You know, just clean stone, brilliant, and I say the color is just to die for. So it weighs what does it weigh?
432.
It weighs 4.32 carats. Price $49.70. Our price online of $29.20. And with the coupon code March 15, you can take 15% off of that, which I don't have exactly what that figures to. $29.20. Comes out to $24.80, which is under $500 a carat for the finest blue Tanzanite that you could ever find. That's one of those that if I was a smart man, I'd put it away and wouldn't see the light of day until this stuff went out of existence, which could be in my lifetime and probably in most of your lifetimes. Let's see. I might have a setting for it. Yeah. You can just catch a little tint of violet when you get it in straight incandescent light. At the end, you'll see a little tinge of violet, but otherwise just all blue. And I'm not sure I've seen a prettier blue sapphire than this stone appears blue. And up next,
Before we, I don't know if you were finished yet, Randy wanted to just know, I'm not sure if it has anything to do with this Tanzanite, but he hears a lot about like D-block color Tanzanite. Can you explain that a little bit?
D-block used to mean something. You know, originally D-block produced the best Tanzanites. And they weren't finding much quality from anywhere else. But that's pretty much changed now. There are other blocks that are producing colors that are every bit as good as D block. So everybody wants to call everything D block just because it's got that name. Just like we want to call give a source name to other stones. Even though it's not from there, we want to call it that just because it brings more money, or denotes higher quality, which D block maybe at one time did denote a higher quality, but I think that's all changed now. You know, the biggest producers of Tanzanite used to be Tanzanite 1, which was C block, and they produced most of the world's supply and some of the finest stones that ever came out of the ground. So although D block was the name and the best available, no longer true. You know, they still produce some great stones, but so do the other blocks. You know, they've just gotten into different levels, and the quality of the stone changes at different levels, and so other blocks are producing fine color. So I don't think it has the significance it used to. I'd like to know where this particular mine is, and maybe when we get over there, which Jeff's job this week is to plan our trip to Tanzania for the fall, and hopefully we can learn a lot more. You know, we used to go to the mines. Hopefully we still can go to the mines, but the government has made it illegal to purchase anywhere than from government-run office buildings. You know, it's a place where everybody has to do their trading, so how I buy is going to be changed, because I won't be going to Marilani, the town, to buy, not risking ending up in a Tanzanian jail. But hopefully it'll be good, because, you know, the sellers are all more concentrated. It'll be easier for me to find the supply that we need, I believe. You know, we'll see when we get there. So.
Good.
Yep, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Next stone is a Rhodolite. This particular stone, actually, it was cut by Marcia Tokarski, if Marcia's out there. There's a couple of crystals in it. You know, all the fuzz that's on it is just fuzz. But in the center, there's a couple of crystals that are eye visible, but very difficult to see. I mean, it's not, say, as I look at it here, you don't really see these inclusions, but in the photos you see it. They're crystals that are within the stone. But this is really a beautiful colored gem, and a good size stone. Nice cutting job, Marcia. It weighs 7.90 carats. The appraised price on this stone is $2,370. Our price online $1,560, and $1,326 is the discounted price. Nice big garnet. You know, garnets, as they get bigger, they're tough to get good color out of them. They just tend to get overly dark. So this is a brilliant style oval. This particular material, I think, came from Kangala, which is a mine in Tanzania. Any other questions?
You want to show that bicolor that we posted today on Reddit?
Oh, sure. This is a cool stone. I love this material. You know, it's not part of the show, but you know, it's ametrine. Yeah, let's clean it off. So this went on Reddit.
Yeah. In case anybody's out there watching.
Did it go viral?
There's quite a few people that look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay. What's quite a few? A million or?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
A lot.
So this is the bicolor quartz that comes from Bolivia. And this one has a nice split, a good intense color. Just kind of amazing to get a bicolor like this. And as reasonable material as it is. This one is online on MoreGems.com. I'm not sure what the... So it's about $1,190, weighs 27 carats. If this was bicolor tourmaline at 27 carats, it'd be $10,000, as compared to $1,190 for the quartz. So it's amethyst citrine. The trace elements change while it's developing, and the color changes in the material. I used to think it grew like the bicolors do, and as it grew longer, the colors change. But when you look at the crystals, the color within the crystal is kind of mixed. There's no even separation to it. Just really pretty stuff, and fairly available right now. And we have a sale.
Yes. So Michael purchased 2 of those Tanzanite gemstones.
Oh, cool. If there's anything specific you're looking for that I can look into it, like I said, there's 4 that are a little more blue, and the rest of them are more violet. My choice generally is towards a more violet, but there's a lot of people that prefer the little more blue. But if you want to send us
Guessing earrings he's probably going to do, huh?
And if you want them matched, I can match a pair out of there. Just try and send us some information either on the chat or if you want to call us tomorrow or send us an email. Just tell me more specifically what you're looking for, and I'll try and fill your need.
He's right in Culver, Indiana. That's not too far.
Oh, in Culver? Oh, okay. Yeah, Culver's kind of close.
Come see us,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, you could stop by. Yeah, you're an hour and a half, maybe.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah.
Questions. So with Tanzanite coming out of Tanzania, are Michael and I going to be able to stuff our pockets with Tanzanite coming back, or is there like a limit on the amount of Tanzanite coming back?
No limit. There's a limit on rough. There's only certain sizes that they want you to take out currently. It's always a constantly changing thing, and hopefully crystals are legal to export now. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So we'll see when we get there what the current law situation is, and their whole attempt with this with the bourses, which a bourse is a place where you buy material where the sellers are concentrated. What they're trying to do is get their fair share of the taxes, which they've missed up to this point, because much of the material just went by people crossing the border and went to Kenya and actually exported out of Kenya rather than pay any tax in Tanzania. So they're just trying to get their tax and help out the country more than it has in the past. And I'm all for that. And hopefully this will work out real well for us, because it's always difficult to go to a country and find who the sellers are. You have a limited amount of time, and this is going to, I think, help significantly for me to find the different suppliers I'm after, and particularly for Michael looking for crystals, and I haven't really searched out crystals in Tanzania, so this should be a interesting trip for us. Even though I can't go to the mines and buy anymore, I think it's going to work out real well.
So we're not going to end up on like locked up abroad or something like that.
Well, you guys will be the mules, and
It's a good show.
I don't know those guys.
I don't know.
No, Nancy, I won't do that.
Okay. Enough about prison. There's a person on chat wanted to know, can you show the cushion cut amethyst again?
Sure.
Can we get that around? And if anybody's missed any of the show, because I know a lot of people pop on throughout the show, Michael, they can see this again, like later. It's always there for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be uploaded right after. I think that's
Okay.
long after. They should be able to rewatch the whole thing.
Okay.
Do they want to see the studio video of it? I can.
That one's originally, what, 1220, I believe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think online there's another nice round I have online also. Also from Rwanda.
Comment from earlier with the Afghani green tourmaline. They said their source of information was coming from a book, The Exotic Gems, Volume 3, from Renee Newman, page 55. I don't know.
Yeah, I bought a lot of Afghani tourmaline, but I've never seen anything that really looked like chrome. I mean, there are non-chrome stones that you look at it and you go, kind of looks like chrome, but usually they've got a little yellow to them that kind of, you see chromes that have some yellow to them too, but the most desirable ones are slightly blue-green, which is what the Afghani is, blue-green, but it's a different blue-green because it's not colored by chromium. I don't think there's anything in Afghanistan that's actually a chrome tourmaline, to my knowledge. Yeah.
All right, sorry. Type in here. And I think that's all the questions for tonight.
All right, folks, remember, shop online at MoreGems.com, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at MoreGems. It's going to do it for us today. I want to thank you all for joining us. Sign up for alerts for when we go live. Also, check out our video links and info at the bottom of the stream. Until next time, I'm Steve Moriarty. Keep on gemming.